Don, how you doing over there? Let's get Don in here 1 second. Don.
Here I am. Hi.
None of the above, right? Remember Brewster's Million out there?
Right.
I wanted to bring a clip, but I knew we'd get a copyright strike. But with Monty Brewster, right? He had to spend
Montgomery Brewster.
Yep. Montgomery Brewster had to spend several $1 million. Was it $30 million in 30 days or something? $30 million. And that was back in the days. And if he runs out of it, he gets 300. If he spends it all, he can't own any assets at the end of 30 days. And if he wins, if he spends it all, he gets 300 million. If he doesn't do it, he loses it all. He gets bupkis, nothing. And these lawyers, these greedy lawyers, they get to inherit all the money. So he did this whole thing. And at one point, these investments or these bets that came through, he took some long shot bets that he didn't think would win. They won, and he was right back to where he started from. But he had this idea that he can run a campaign and use his own money for the campaign. And the whole slogan and the whole idea was, don't vote for me. Don't for these two idiots. Vote for none of the above. That was the whole thing. Don, last night in Nevada, or was it 2 nights ago? Nikki Haley. Tonight is the caucus. Tonight is what actually decides the delegates.
Tuesday was the
yes.
And there are no delegates. It was just like a horse and pony show.
It was a symbolic primary. And I think Nikki Haley thought she could run because Donald Trump was going to run in the caucus, and she was advised, hey, let's run in this primary. Let's win the primary so we can come out there and look victorious. But they had a decision. The state decided that you can vote for none of these candidates, none of the above, like Brewster's Million, and none of the above won, Don.
Got twice as many votes as she did.
Wow. Devastating. And they went on to blame Donald Trump, said they rigged it and whatnot. I don't know how you could rig something like that, but it's like, it's embarrassing. It's over now. Enough is enough. Nikki Haley should just bow on out. Let's take a look at this quick video, Don, and then we'll get your opinions. I got a quick article over here. This was just fascinating. Take a look at this. Volume. There's no volume.
Nevada has a caucus and a primary.
And take the closed captions off, please.
In Your Voice, Your Vote, the next state on the primary election calendar is Nevada. Joe Biden is the projected winner for Democrats, but when it comes to the Republican nomination for president, Nevada has a caucus and a primary. And the Verify team can confirm the state-run primary in Nevada does not count towards the race for the Republican nomination. Only the party-run caucus coming up on Thursday. Not only that, but the Nevada GOP decided that any candidate who signs up to run in the primary cannot run in the caucus. This year, Donald Trump did not sign up for the primary, which means his name will only appear on the caucus ballots. But his main opponent, Nikki Haley, did sign up for the primary, meaning she's disqualified from the caucus and cannot win any of Nevada's delegates. And that's not all. The Associated Press reports the none of these candidates wins option on the ballot has passed, which means Haley loses the primary. Nevada gives voters the option of choosing, quote, none of these candidates, and that's exactly what they chose. It all comes on the same day former President Donald Trump received a major court decision.
That's good. That's enough with that. I don't want to hear about this. That's all they love to do is just go. They got nothing else to really, if the liberal mainstream media has nothing to really talk about when it comes to any success of any of the Democrats out there, especially Joe Biden. So all they can do is bash Donald Trump. Now, Don, I mean, first of all, if you're going to run in the primary and not the caucus, and I'm glad the Republican Party of Nevada was like, no, if you want to get any delegates, you got to participate in the caucus, because the caucus is also harder to rig, much harder to rig than any primary out there. And you know this too. We've talked about this before. If Nikki Haley was serious, would she have run in the primary to begin with? She just thought that since Donald Trump was running in the caucus, she can run in the primary, look like she won, and come out ahead victorious and really give her momentum heading into South Carolina. It failed, Don, and it failed miserably.
Yep. Well, I'm looking at Nikki just lost the Virgin Islands tonight. So She's, her purpose is to be a placeholder. So if they knock Trump off the ballot, the Republicans have another candidate. She's a weapon against Trump, basically, acting on behalf of the, whatever you want to call the deep state, the machinery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
yeah, listen, it's a risky thing for her to continue to do. South Carolina comes up and she loses in her own state and loses badly to Donald Trump. What does that say about her future, as a politician? It really will hurt her if she continues to stay in this race.
Yeah, well, she lost Virgin Islands 74-26
to Trump.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this. What you need to know about Nikki Haley losing none of these candidates option in the Nevada Republican primary. This is by NBC News. I like to use the mainstream media's news as much as I can to when they're putting pie in their face. With the majority of the expected vote reported, none of these candidates received nearly double, Don mentioned earlier, the votes that Haley earned as early as Wednesday morning. None of these candidates, Haley, a number of long shot challengers, and two former GOP candidates, Mike Pence and Tim Scott, were on the Nevada's primary ballot. Pence and Scott received a few thousand votes combined, and some of the minor candidates garnered several hundred in total. The Haley campaign did not respond directly to the question about their loss, instead releasing a statement where they called Thursday's competing caucus a game rigged for Trump. An allegation in the Nevada Republican Party has repeatedly denied. Haley's campaign manager also said going into Tuesday that we have not spent a dime nor an ounce of energy in Nevada. Yeah, you better start saying that after you got your butt beat. Don, just so crazy and interesting. You know what I'm saying? What does this say about Nikki Haley moving forward?
Well, I think we've already said more than she's worth. She's a Ted Cruz of this election cycle. This is what they tried to do with Ted Cruz back in 2016. And they were paying him pretty well, I guess. He kept at it right through the convention, and then that fell apart.
Well, he did a lot better than she's doing, right? I mean, she hasn't won a single contest, nor will she. I mean, enough is enough at this point. Everybody knows and understands, especially the conservative movement, that it's Donald Trump. Do you think Donald Trump is going to have a different attitude moving forward? I mean, in the beginning, these primaries, he was so upset that she was still in it, that he was wasting a lot of energy, I thought, on her and not just concentrating on Joe Biden. In other words, I think his plan should be don't even spend a lick of energy with Nikki Haley, even though it's fun when he does, right? We had Eric Jackman on the show to do his best Trump impression, but don't pay attention to Nikki Haley anymore. Just look forward. Look at Joe Biden and start competing with him regardless of what's going on.
They're sitting on top of all kinds of data that I'm not privy to. So we'll see at the end if they win or not, and then we'll know whether or not they follow the right strategy.
Well, she's making herself look bad too, as well. The way she's kicking and screaming and crying like a baby. This is all but done. YouTube still plays those crazy games where they like to unsubscribe people for whatever reason. I don't know if it's part of an algorithm or whatnot, but make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that bell and like, share, subscribe to the show. We're going to have this whole show clipped up. We're going to do it the same way we've been doing it on the Combo Couch for many years. We do a whole show, a live show, and then we have certain segments. We're going to repost the segments out there so you can share the shorter versions of the subjects that you like or that you want to share. And that's the most important thing you can do. A lot of us don't have any coin to spare, but we can share, right? That rhymed. We don't have any coin to spare, but we can share. So do me a favor and share.